So I just thought I'd do a quick little live. Nobody here so far. So not much planned for this one. Got a few things to talk about, but mainly just a bit of a chat with everybody. Mainly because I haven't been uploading much in the last few days. I've been quite busy with other things, so I haven't had chance myself to get out to the greenhouse. So I have been doing a lot of cuttings, but other than that, I've mainly just been focused on schoolwork, unfortunately. But so yeah, I thought I'd do a little live now, seeing as it's the weekend. Welcome you all to the weekend. I had somebody. It dropped out. If anybody is here, please let me know. I think my feed's a bit slow, so it's hard to tell if anybody's actually in here. So, hi Ray, how are you? Yeah, I was just saying I was going to do a quick little live. Not been uploading much lately, but I thought I'd try and do something. So I thought this was the best way to start the weekend. So what's everybody been up to today? I can't tell. My feed's saying there's several people in here. I can't tell. Is it just, please comment if you're here, just so I know. I think it's just you for a minute, right? But yeah, so I'll talk about plant sales and all for a start. So the last few days I've been really busy, but I have managed to. Oh, you're working. Oh, what do you do then, Ray? If you mind me asking. But yeah, so I've been taking quite a few cuttings lately, and the only reason why I'm not out there today is because it is tipping it down, and my greenhouse has several leaks at all of my benches, so I get soaked. So I thought I'd come in and do a bit of a live. But I've been taking Gristlinia cuttings. I think I've done about 100, 200 Gristlinia cuttings. The way I do that is we got loads of bushes in our garden, so just take young, fresh green growth off that, put them into 1 litre pots, and so I just stick a 1 litre pot full of multi-purpose compost, stick a few cuttings in. I don't really bother with rooting powder or rooting gel for Gristlinia and things like that, because I find that I have quite good success rates anyway, and they do root relatively quickly. I've also been taking hydrangea cuttings. They're all just beginning to flower, so it's been annoying because I've been having to take off a lot of the flower heads and stuff, so it's been taking a lot longer with them. However, they have a lot more fresh growth, so it's been a lot easier in that respect, because there's been a lot more of the plant to work with. I've also been taking bay cuttings. Hi Nick, how are you? Yeah, so I've been taking a few bay cuttings in 1 litres again. I struggled with the bay though a little bit. They're a bit woody still. Hello, Pepper Tree Vanilla. Oh no, sorry, Pepper Tree Villa. Oh, you're watching from your desk at work. Oh, thank you for coming along. But yeah, so the cuttings have been going on quite well. I've got 1 litre trays of 8, so I've been doing quite a few cuttings in there of different things. There is something else I've been taking cuttings of, but I can't remember the name. I think it's a Weedula. Is it called Weedula? Our Pepper Tree is in California. Well, thanks for coming along. Really appreciate it. So we got 1 like. Thank you. Remember to hit the like. But yeah, so I've been just basically caught up on my greenhouse work. So I've been taking more cuttings because, for those of you that don't know, I have bought a 120-foot long polytunnel, which is going to be going in one of our fields, but I've not actually had a place to, fit that much stuff in since I started. So I've only been able to take a certain amount of cuttings and certain amount of plants before I'm full up. So I'm hoping it's not going to be set up yet, hence me just taking cuttings, because they'll take their time anyway. But because it's 120 foot, obviously, and I'm only going from a greenhouse that's, I think it's 16 by 20, so I've not got loads of plants to fill it up yet. And obviously, buying in plants or growing them from seed is going to be really expensive. So currently I've just been taking cuttings because they're easier to do, and it doesn't matter if I don't get this polytunnel set up for months yet, because obviously the cuttings can stay in their 1 litre pots for quite a while. And another thing then is obviously getting the cover for the polytunnel. That's going to be a challenge because, well, it's such a large tunnel. It's going to be very expensive, so that's going to delay it even more. But hopefully it should be set up this year, but maybe next year. I do grow tomatoes, yes. I think I've done 3 or 4 different varieties this year. So I did Gardener's Delight, Moneymaker. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Yes, I do Moneymaker, Gardener's Delight, Croix de Bue, and Cherry. So 4 different varieties. I sell a lot of my plants like that, so I've been growing quite a few and selling them, although I have been keeping a few back for myself because I do grow food as well. I like doing that. But the main thing that I do is grow plants to sell. So yes, I do grow tomatoes. I grow a lot of them. It's funny, I haven't been in the greenhouse properly for the last 2 or 3 days, I think 2 days actually. But I sort of walked in and it's like, wait, have I gone in the wrong greenhouse? Because everything had really grown, despite me not being in there to look after them. They'd all done really well. My cosmos have gone up by about, well, I'd say about 2 or 3 inches. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Rachel. But yeah, so this bit of heat, all the plants have been growing like no tomorrow. So they've been doing, my cosmos have been doing really well, growing on Salvia, Blaze of Fire. They've been growing really well. Happy Lux, hello. Yes, I am new on YouTube. Hi, Disney. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You? It's funny, Disney. I was going to go live, and then because I saw that nobody was live, and then I went downstairs, made myself a bovril, came back upstairs, and you'd gone live. So sorry if I've interrupted your live a little bit. The good times are over, though. Oh, well, I'm still enjoying YouTube. So, but yeah, I know there have been a lot of issues, obviously, with YouTube. We won't go into that because the amount of arguments there are on YouTube, and nobody really likes to listen to the drama. But yeah, it has changed a lot because I have done YouTube before in the past, but never been this successful with it. I think I've been doing YouTube on this channel for about 7 weeks now. Yeah, actually it's coming on for 8 now, so almost 2 months. Thank you, Happy Lux. But yeah, so lots of cuttings and I've been taking, but all of the plants in the greenhouse have been doing really well. So I'm hoping that I'll have some more because I've been growing geraniums. I think I had 100, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to take a few of those up tomorrow to sell as well. But other than that, hi Allotment Life, how are you? But yeah, other than that, there's not been too much going on. It's just really just been me taking cuttings because there's been nothing else to do. And as I said a minute ago, I'm only really doing the live now because it's raining outside. My greenhouse has lots of leaks, so I can't really take many cuttings in there because I just get fed up of drips and stuff. So, oh, that's good, Brian. But yeah, so it's been, just sort of nothing too busy. Obviously in the summer it's gonna pick up a bit more, but at the minute it's just been potting up, and I caught up on all that last week. So it's really just been me taking cuttings for the past few days. So has anybody been doing anything interesting on their allotments or gardens? No, a little rain never did hurt anybody, no, but I got fed up because yesterday I was taking cuttings and I got soaked, and I couldn't be bothered to get soaked today. So Asaf S, hello, how are you? Thanks for coming along. But yeah, so what's everybody been doing then in their plots and gardens? Oh, Nick, I did message you yesterday, but just so everybody else knows, because I've been asked a lot, I now have sunflowers. So I'm going to be entering Sunflower Challenge 2019. I should be recording that video tomorrow or later today. Pricking out cabbages. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I've decided to give cabbages a go this year. I didn't really bother with them last year. I was sort of intimidated by them, I suppose, only because I'd been reading a book and they seemed quite complicated. What am I talking about? Well, basically just what I've been doing lately around my garden and what everybody else has been doing. So Rachel's doing her sunflower video tomorrow as well. Yeah, because the thing is, I had a packet of sunflower seeds. Great on the sunflowers. Need to go now. Dinner's ready. All right, thank you, Nick. Thanks for coming along. See you again. But yeah, so I was intimidated by. Sorry. Ever seen a couple other people doing that sunflower challenge? Yeah, it's been quite popular. Lots of people have been doing it at Disney, so I thought I'd give it a go. I think mine are Russian giant, so obviously I'll be going for the largest. No, I'm not working on the garden currently. I'm indoors, but yes, normally I would be working on the garden about now, and I was until a few minutes ago because I got fed up of basically the place I work in my greenhouse is a drip directly above my head. It was a giant singles. Yeah, so I'm new to the whole sunflower growing thing. So, well, I mean, I know they're not difficult, but that's always going to be a fun experience because I have no idea what to do with them. And also I get a lot of wind, so mine are probably going to blow over. Pepper Tree's going to plant sunflowers in their garden this season. Hello, Sarah, life in Pakistan. How are you? I'm good, thanks. Hello, Bombs to Bushels Homestead. So the Sunflower Challenge, Nick's Allotment Diary has basically invited everybody in our community to take part in the Sunflower Challenge 2019. Basically, you've got to record yourself sowing the sunflower seeds with all of the hashtags, the hashtag Sunflower Challenge 2019, then update the progress on it. Basically, you've got till October, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've got until October to grow your sunflowers, and then there's 3 categories. There's the strangest, the largest flower, and the tallest. I think, could be wrong, but I'm entering the tallest because for ages now I haven't had sunflower seeds, and now I do. So they're the ones I got them free in a magazine, so that's the one I'll be going for. Although, to be fair, it's probably the worst one for me to enter because my greenhouse is, and my little area where I grow plants, there's a wall one side and a house the other. So the wind funnels right through. So I'm going to have to find a way of growing them without them being blown over. I might have to make some screening for them. So Bombs to Bushels is uploading their Sunflower Challenge update as they speak. So have you just sown them, or is yours an update of them growing? Okay, so thank you, and hello just went. Thank you, Rachel, much appreciated. So Pepper Tree saying that's great to Bombs to Bushels Homestead. So let us know when that video is up, Bombs to Bushels, and I'll check it out after this update of growing them. So, or rather dying in the update. So what's happened then? Are they like really badly dying, or just, getting a bit ill? Yeah, that's fine, Asef. I do other I'm going to be doing other videos, a few dog walking videos and insect keeping videos, but for now it's just going to be gardening, as that's the main thing. And then as we go into the winter, I'll be doing more indoor videos, so about my insects, things like that. So don't worry, it's not just going to be gardening on this channel. So Disney World Adventures, got to get back to work. Thank you. I will try and keep up the good work, if you can call my videos good work. But yeah, you have a magical day too, Disney. Hello, Jay McHugh. How are you? But yeah, so I was saying, basically, I've got a few other things planned. Hopefully very soon I'll be doing a video. I keep ants. Hopefully I'll be doing a video on that very soon. I'm just waiting for them. They're all coming out of hibernation now. But there's not much going on at the minute because they're all still in their larvae stages and things like that. So not many ants. So there's not much to show you at the minute, but I will do a video soon. So Bomster Bush was saying some died, some wilted. They were away for the day, and apparently they're a bit thirstier than anticipated. Yeah, I have a lot of trouble with my plants in my greenhouse drying out, but that's mainly down to my compost that I use. Well, I was using. It was poor quality and quite light compost by Growmore, and it just, I could water it. I could stand there with a hose pipe watering it for a good 10 minutes, and I'd come back the next day and it'd be bone dry. And the same's been happening with my cactus. And obviously, you know, cactus, they're in deserts. They can deal with droughts and things like that. But I've been having to go in there every day with my hose pipe and drown them because they're just drying out. The pots are just completely drying out. So hopefully I'll be getting some John Innes number 3, as that's what cactus like. And I'll be replacing all those with John Innes number 3. Problem is, I haven't had a chance to get out and do that yet, so that's going to be a bit of a process because I have a lot of cactus. Well, I have a 6 foot by 8 foot greenhouse full of them, so it's going to be a challenge. Hello, Adam. Adam Elmas. Hello, how are you? Yeah, homemade compost. I suppose it's because it's, you know, slow compost or even fast compost. It's not got anything added to it, whereas the stuff I use is well, I suppose it's a lot lighter, so it's got less nutrients in it. And despite claiming it holds water, to be fair, the only bits that actually hold water are the pieces of wood and rope that are in the compost, so it is annoying. Bomster Bushels has a similar issue. Fine line between overwatering them and burning to a crisp. Yeah, that's another thing with my cactus. Obviously, they're all like, you can't just water the bottom of the plant because they're all, you know, the whole plant will get burnt. Or, you know, there's no stalk for them. They are the plant, and they come out of the ground. Well, basically what I'm trying to say is I can't avoid the leaves because the whole plant acts as a leaf. So no matter what I do, it burns. So I have to come out there as soon as the sun goes and just water them. And even then they're bone dry again. I've got cactus going red because they're stressed, cactus going yellow. Basically, they're not photosynthesizing enough because of that, and they're getting too hot, they're drying out, and I'm losing quite a few plants to that. So that's been my latest issue, but hopefully I'll be able to rectify that as soon as I get better compost. So I missed John Innes. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. John Innes compost not looking the same anymore at the BCSS meetings that I go to, the British Cactus and Succulent Society. For cactus, you are supposed to use John Innes number 3, and they were saying how it's changed since like 50 years ago when they first started going to cactus meetings and getting, you know, growing cactus to now. It was always a 7-3-2 mix. So what is it now then? Because I've never even started. I've not started using it, so I can't say obviously that it's changed because I'm not old enough for a start. I've only been doing gardening for the past year, so it's not changed for me. However, I've heard a lot of people complaining about it. Jay McHugh saying Storm Hannah's just landed in Dublin. Oh, you're to get the best of it. Yeah, it's tipping it down here currently. Lots of wind. And well, my neighbours have got I'm not actually sure what it is, I can't see, but basically right next to we got a wall going through our garden, and sort of coming over our side of the wall. Well, not really coming over the side of the wall, but it's visible from our side of the wall because it comes up over their side, and basically all of the petals have been blowing off into my bit, which is annoying because I've just begun to clear up, or just finished clearing up all of the flower petals from my cherry, my flowering cherry. The wind would blow and it was like it was snowing, but it covered everything. So that was a pain to clear up, but got it in the end. Rachel Jane's allotment saying they're throwing everything in their potting mix this year to help with watering, even rock dust. And that's another thing, saying about rock dust. My compost from last year that I was using, which was the cheap stuff, it would sort of solidify over the top and form a crust almost. And any seeds that I sowed or cuttings that I've taken, anything like that, they just couldn't, or plants that send up multiple heads, they couldn't send up new heads. So Sempervivum, for example, they tend to send out a lot of heads, and they were sending out the heads, but they were trying to form roots on rock, basically, and they just couldn't establish and kept dying. So I lost quite a few plants like that just due to the compost solidifying, basically. So 7 parts compost, 3 sieved peat, and 2 parts of river washed sand. That was for the John Innes mix. So Jay McHugh had the neighbour's trampoline from across the road land just outside their house. Really? You do see like videos and stuff of people's trampolines and stuff sort of taking off in storms, but so, well, did it damage anything then, or were you all right? Hello, Lindsay, how are you? Thanks for coming in. So Allotment Life is saying that they find Aldi's compost is as good as any for seed sowing. I'll give that a try then, because I sow a lot of seeds, and well, they just dry out before anything can germinate. So Lynn's is saying just rainy there, but windy. Yeah, it was. Well, it is currently windy, and the rain is. Well, no, I'd say it was dying down, but it actually isn't. Looking out of my window, it's just about the same. But all of the cuttings I've been taking have had a really. They've been quite damaged because obviously we had heat. So I was trying to water them as much as I could, but obviously cuttings, heat isn't really good for them, especially fresh cuttings. So they weren't doing as well. A few of them drooped, so I had to take a few more just in case. And well, now they're being blown around, taking out the pots and things. So it's been chaos here with the wind. But hopefully I've taken enough cuttings that even if I lose a few, I've still got enough to go in my polytunnel. Because well, I'll say it again, I've bought a 120-foot long polytunnel, and although I've not actually got it yet, it's mine, I bought it, and we just need to take it and then put it up, and it's obviously going to take a lot of filling, and I've got to buy a cover, so I'm not going to have enough money to buy a cover and then fill it with plants. So instead of sowing loads of seeds now, because I'm not sure when I'm going to get it up, so I'm just taking cuttings, because cuttings take a bit longer, but they'd be a good filler because, well, they're just they're easy to do. So it doesn't matter if they're sat on our patio for months, not doing anything. Well, I say our patio, we've got a little tarmac bit by my raised bed, so I'd probably stick them there because it's sheltered from the sun and relatively sheltered from the wind, which is where I've moved them now, because they were being pulled out of the pots that they were in by the wind, and lots of pots are being knocked over. So I've had to put them in 1 litre pot trays of 8 just to keep them upright, because they've been blowing over and going everywhere. So J McHugh's saying apparently rock dust isn't as useful as once thought. Maybe for drainage, but no real nutritional value. No damage to the trampoline or us. That's good. That's good. So yeah, we've got a trampoline in our garden. It's very broken. The dogs jumped on it the other day because I was stood near it and springs were flying off and all. And there's a massive gap where there's no springs on one side. We need to take it out, but haven't had the time. And there's no danger of it blowing away though, because there's brambles that are growing all over it, over the top, on the bars underneath. So the challenge will be moving it. So what's everybody been doing then lately? Now we've got a few new people. Linz, have you sown any more seeds or, been potting up anything? I harvested my first radishes the other day, and I've got another crop in my greenhouse which are ready for harvesting. So as soon as I need some radishes for a salad. Thank you, Linz. Yeah, remember the thumbs up. Much appreciated. But so does anybody grow any potatoes and things like that then? Because I know it's a popular thing to grow, but some people don't grow any root vegetables. So does anybody here just stick to fruit, or or is everybody like me and sort of switching between them all? Because I try and keep a variety, but I know some people do specialize in certain things. So spuds in pots. Yeah, I've got loads of spuds or potatoes in pots. I've got them in the little potato pots. I thought I'd give those a go. Grow everything. Yeah, that's the best way. Polyanthus or primulas. So a lot of my life is saying, why not grow some polyanthus or primulas, for example, before the polytunnel is up? Easy to multiply by division, and take up space. Well, I'll give it a go. We do have a lot in our garden, and I did try some polyanthus, but they were all doing a bit. Well, they were just drying out with the bad compost I've been using. But I might sow it again. Bombs to Bushels is accidentally growing potatoes. I'm doing that actually by accident. So I'm trying to rotate my beds so that the same nutrients aren't being drained from the compost and from the soil each year. Sorry. So I've been trying to rotate. Last year with the heat wave, all my potatoes died because I couldn't be there during the day because I was at school. So I could only water them when I got home, and it just wasn't enough for them. They were drying out. So I harvested them, but they were still quite small. Some of them were tiny. Well, apparently I didn't harvest them all. So I've got potatoes popping up here, there, and everywhere. So I've got even more potatoes than I originally intended. And, well, it's a nuisance, but I'll just have to put up with it because I cannot get rid of them. So Bombs to Bushels has a potato plant growing in the spot where they threw scraps for the chickens last year. That's also happened. I was putting, adding vegetable scraps and all, putting it underneath the soil when I dug it over, and then a little while after I added a few more and dug it over, only shallow, but so it was beneath it rotting down. Well, there were potato peelings in it, so they've all become potatoes in my greenhouse, but there were only like 3 or 4, so I was able to pull them out. But the problem outside is just way too difficult because there are so many, because it's quite a large bed that they've sort of taken over. So Jay McHugh's saying turnips, beetroot, broccoli, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, onions, potatoes, leeks, peas, carrots, chickpeas, and herbs, all in pots. That's a lot of plants. But yeah, so I think most people, have variety, because a few gardeners near me stick to specific things, or a few people I know, I should say, they stick to fruit, and that's, they just specialize in fruit, and they don't do any root vegetables, or I think they do beans now I say that, but they don't do any root vegetables, which is surprising because personally, I think root vegetables are the easiest because you don't have to worry about birds, eating them or things like that. Obviously, there are, things that can get at them, but mostly you've not got the threat of birds, which is the main threat for fruit, because you've got to get up a fruit cage and it's just a lot more hassle. I suppose once you've got the fruit cage up, it's all right. But personally, I try and have a mix of everything. So I've got, different things being harvested at different times. All right. Thank you, Linz, for stopping by. I'll see you later. So Rachel put potato peels in the compost, and now they're everywhere. Yeah. I think, well, I've done it, and obviously a few of you have done it. It's one of those mistakes. You don't even think about it at the time. You just put it in, and then later on, because you wouldn't even think a potato could actually, amount to anything from a potato peel. It's not like there's much of it, but it's amazing. They will grow. So Allotment Life has a stipulation on their site to allow for a good percentage of ground for growing veg. Yeah, that's a good idea, because I suppose with being in an allotment, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming it's really difficult to stop your plots from being, sort of overrun by neighboring plants and weeds. For example, if the person next to you decides to grow morning glory, obviously spread into that. Does anybody have any issues with that then? Because, well, I could imagine that would affect, and also if you're trying to grow organic things and the person next to you isn't, does anybody get any trouble with that, or is everybody relatively respectful of other plot owners? What do you call a Christmas potato? I don't know. Spudnik. Christmas cracker joke. I'll get my coat. Yeah. I'd say an amazing joke, but I mean, there's been better. So Bomster Bushell's Homestead says they've got a bit of everything too: carrots, tomatoes, herbs, radishes, peppers, grapes, lettuce, spinach, and cucumbers. Now peppers, I have had so much trouble with those. Last year I was given an out-of-date packet of seeds. I sowed them. They did fine. I had them, tried to overwinter them. They overwintered, but aphids and all got them. I'd spray them every week. Couldn't get rid of them. Not aphids, sorry, green fly and white fly. They were just too weak. I managed to fight them off in the end, but they were so weak, there was no point bothering with them. So I chucked them all out. And now, unfortunately, I've tried growing them again, which, I thought, give them another go. I was obviously unlucky. I couldn't get any to germinate. So then I got some on a heat mat in our conservatory in a propagator. One germinated and then promptly died. Despite having everything taken off of it, it was just too hot. So it's a bit of a pain. I can't get them to grow now at all. And then I did have some peppers. Slugs got them. So yeah, I've had quite a few issues with peppers. So I think I'm gonna give up on them. Might try them again, but I have been given, now I say that, some chilies. But other than that, I'm not going to bother trying to sow any from seed because I just can't seem to grow them. Jay McHughes says he's here all week. Allotment Life saying the problem with growing fruit trees is that the roots always head for fertile soil. They grow in your veg patch. Yeah, I could imagine that would cause a lot of problems because I have a lot of rooty ground as well, and it's a pain. The amount of forks I've broken or bent trying to turn my soil last year because there were that many roots in it. In the end, I think I just gave up, and now I just go in with a shovel. I don't even bother digging this bed. Obviously, I give it fertilizer and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm not really bothering digging it because I just cannot dig it. There's that many roots. So I plant potatoes in it, do the trenches, because there is one bit that's all right. So I plant my potatoes there, and then everything else is just flowers and things like that because they don't need as much attention. So Bombs to Bushels is saying their only issue with their neighbor is that they're growing, is their neighbor Bougainville overgrowing into your area. Sorry if I've completely massacred that, but they've been growing into their area. But it's acceptable considering the house is abandoned. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it's difficult to get an abandoned house owner to clear it up. It's not like you can catch them on the way out of their house. So Jay McHugh saying they've had trouble germinating their carrots this year. Only 3 shows out of 20. I haven't had any trouble actually with my carrots. No, that's a lie. I have had a bit of trouble getting them to germinate. I haven't had many germinate. My parsnips were next to them. They did fine, but not many carrots have germinated. But obviously just not a good year for them. So Rachel's saying seed from shop bought peppers grow mad fast. Well, I mean, if I can ever get them to germinate, I'm sure they would grow mad fast. But until then... Jay McHugh is a she. Oh, sorry. I remember that. Bombs to Bushels Homestead is saying that they've lost most of their carrots as well. Yeah, so we're not the only ones. Obviously, it's just not been a good year for carrots, I suppose. Yeah, so it could be climate related. You know, that is possible because, well, I can't get them to germinate. Jay McHugh can't get them to germinate, and Bombs to Bushels can't get them to germinate. And, you know, we're all in different areas, so could be a coincidence, but more likely it's climate related. So Bombs to Bushels germinated, but then most died. Not sure of their issue, if their issue is climate related. Living in the desert. Yeah, well, you know, living in the desert could affect them just a little bit. Carrots like the cold and the wet, yeah. I suppose what you could do, Bombs to Bushels, is perhaps, you know, get some netting, sort of cover them. That would keep them cooler, and you know, sort of lap over the netting so that it's quite thick and doesn't let in too much of the heat, so that it's a bit cooler in there, and then perhaps that would work better. So Allotment Life's got to go. T's waiting for them. Thank you for coming along, Allotment Life. I really appreciate it. I think I'll probably begin to wrap this up as well. Now we're approaching 40 minutes. 3 people here, 10 likes. So, and I'm running out of things to say. Otherwise, I'll start rambling about things I've already talked about today. So Jay McHugh saying they didn't really get a winter this year in Ireland. Maybe that is the reason. Perhaps, I mean, it was a very mild winter in Cornwall as well, so it is completely possible that it's just, you know, it's a bit, the weather's not quite right for it, if you know what I mean, and sort of catching up. So perhaps I'll have another go sowing a few later, because I do have a lot of carrot seeds. But for now, I think, you know, I'll just let the carrots I've got grow. If they die, they die. But I think mine should be all right. Once they germinate, I seem to be all right with plants. It's just getting some of them to germinate. I don't know why, but I just can't seem to get them to germinate. Rachel Jane is saying to cover them in wet cloth. Yeah, I suppose you could try and chip them. That would, well, I suppose that would work. I don't know. So Bombs to Bushels is saying they're going to have to shade their plants. Yeah. I've been lucky, actually. I didn't have to shade anything last year. Although when I get this new polytunnel, I'm definitely going to have to shade things, because I do Saturday work in for a plant nursery, I suppose, in their polytunnel, and the sun doesn't need to come out. You know, it can be behind the clouds and it's roasting in there, even with shading up. So I think I've missed something now. Rachel Jane saying cover them in the cloth until their heads pop up. Yeah. Well, that's a good piece of advice. So thank you. Joe McHugh saying that they'll get new seeds all together and try again. I think that's the best way. Sometimes you just get, you know, rubbish packets, rubbish batch. So it is completely possible that that is the case. Hello, where we are. How are you? Thanks for coming along. I'm probably not going to be live for much longer, but you know, I'll stay on for a few more minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so, because I've got a few more things to talk about. But overall, I am sort of, and also I don't want to collide with anybody else's live streams, because I know a lot of people do go live on a Friday, so I don't want to clash with anybody else's. Yeah, thank you. Oh, Nick's back. Hi, Nick. We were just talking about carrots not germinating. I was talking about my peppers, the endless battle for the peppers. And what else would we do? I'm basically just wondering whether, because whether our carrots not germinating is to do with the climate. So Bombs to Bosch has just posted their 2019 Sunflower Challenge video. Is a saguaro cactus. The thumbnail is a saguaro cactus. That's a good thumbnail. So Bombs to Bushels, are you part of any cactus societies then, or anything like that? Or, you know, what I'm trying to say is, do you keep cactus, or is it just, you know, is it just something you have a few of, or are you like me and a bit obsessed with them? Because it does take a little bit of craziness, I think, to want to keep cactus, because you walk in and you're bound to catch on something. And I've got these hitchhiker cactus where basically their limbs detach really easily. My jacket caught on them once and it pulled a piece off, and I didn't know about it. A few hours later, for what I can't remember now how it happened, but basically I think I was getting my wallet or something, so I put my arm into my pocket, pulled it out, and this cactus had caught onto my like wrist, and it had, well, basically attached to me, and I had a massive scratch going right up my arm from it. And they're just evil, especially hitchhiker cactus. They've got really sharp spines which detach really easily. So I think the worst ones though are probably Opuntias. They're the ones with the really fine spikes that you can get. And if anybody has any Opuntias, you'd know that they are very bad if you get Opuntia spikes, because you'll still be finding Opuntia spikes a few days later. So Rachel's saying that someone made a video where they put wood over the carrot drills to keep moisture, and that's a good idea. Bombs to Bushels is saying they have a couple cacti. They want to get a bunch of prickly pear to harvest for jam. Yeah, so prickly pear, I think they're Opuntia. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that prickly pear is another name for the Opuntias. So watch out for those. They are evil if you get the spikes. Judith Fit is here. Thank you very much for coming along. How are you? Small Garden Escape is here. How are you? Bombs to Bushels lives in Cactus Central in the US, in Arizona. So they're easy to grow. Yeah, I'd love to be able to have, you know, no challenges with cactus, but it is a real challenge in the UK because obviously they can't go outside, they die, it's too cold. Inside, they're fine, but in the summer, it gets too hot for them in the greenhouses. So some do take them outside, but then they can burn even them, because they're not used to this, the raw sunlight. And obviously, if you do get frost, you've lost the majority of your cactus. So it's always a difficult one. But if you've got enough shading and you've got enough experience, you can grow them. But I'm still learning with cactus. So hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to grow them without any trouble. But there's always one issue. So Jay McHugh's asking how I got into gardening. The future will be safe as long as more young people develop an interest. So basically, there was an open day at an old house, and my parents own a animal feed shop. So we went there. We had a little stall advertising, and basically, the opposite side of us, there was a little building, and inside of this little building, there was a few other stalls, but there was one with cacti and succulents. And I bought one at first. Well, I didn't notice it the first day, but it was the second day I noticed it. And my mum told me to go over and have a look because she thought I'd like it. So I bought one, then I went back, and then I bought another, asking a few questions. Then I went back and I was having a look at these. So I decided to go over and get another. And then they said, they gave me a piece of paper, really, like an entry form, basically inviting me to join the British Cactus and Succulent Society. So I went back, talked about it, decided I'd do it. So I filled it out, brought it over there, and then I bought another cactus. So that's how it started. And then about a week later, I bought some seed trays, and I started using the middle table in my greenhouse. The rest of the greenhouse was completely overgrown because I hadn't grown anything in it for quite a few years. But I had these in the middle. And then my Easter holiday came, and I cleared the whole greenhouse out. Well, the majority of the greenhouse out. And it grew from there. At first, I was just selling a few plants, but eventually I was selling all sorts and growing all sorts. And I think really it was the encouragement that I got from the British Cactus and Succulent Society, the members in there, which fed my interest. But yeah, that's how I got into that's how I got into gardening. So Bombs to Bush was saying they can't imagine trying to grow them in the UK. It is annoying. It's a challenge, but once you get the hang of it, and once you work out what works for you in your area, it's fine. But until then, it can be a challenge. So Rachel's daughter is trying to grow cacti. She's been watching my videos. Thank you. Yeah, good luck with them. So is she growing them from seed or just as plants? Hello, Sunshine Cooper. How are you? Here from the Philippines. Thank you very much for joining me. Everybody's saying hello to each other. So, Jay McHugh, an allotment. I live on a farm, you see. So, to be fair, I don't think I will ever get an allotment because I don't need one. We actually have 2 allotments on our farm. One we're now currently renting out, and the other we need to clear out to rent out. So, if I wanted an allotment, I could potentially get one really soon. But we've got a field space where we've planted a few bushes anyway, which is where my polytunnel was originally going to go. So I probably will be using that in the future to grow fruit and vegetables. And then where my polytunnel is going to go, that will be mainly retail. So, I'll be growing all sorts of things there for myself. So despite it being retail. So to be fair, I probably won't ever really end up getting an allotment unless my situation changes. Because currently I just, I don't really need one because I've got plenty of spaces to grow plants. So I'm assuming everybody else has allotments, or do you have gardens? How do you operate basically? And do you have greenhouses, polytunnels, things like that? Yeah, having plenty of space. It is really useful. Problem is, the bit that I'm currently using is connected to our garden. So I had to build a fence because my dogs kept coming in, digging things up and knocking pots over. Problem is they still, they have to go in when we take them for a walk down our fields because my dog Poppy, if you've seen any of the dog walking videos, the dog walking video, you probably know who she is. She likes to jump in water troughs, nice, stagnant, dirty water troughs. So we can't take her through the house, obviously. And obviously, if it's raining, they get wet and muddy anyway. So we have to take them through my part, and they knock over pots all the time, which isn't ideal. But I've sort of gotten used to that. I've just used pallets and put everything on there, and they tend not to knock them over. But even now, they'll wander into my greenhouse, and if I've got something in the way, instead of going, so they'll go behind it, and then instead of going back the way they've came, they'll just walk over the pots. But they are beginning to, they are learning quite well, actually, not to go on the plants, but occasionally they do forget or panic or things like that. So Rachel's saying they're in the West Midlands part of the UK. I'm in Cornwall, southwest. So Jay McHugh is garden only with lots of pots. So do you have any raised beds or beds, anything like that, or is it just pots that you grow things from? Have I missed something? Not sure. No, I don't think I've missed something. Sorry, it's just where we are saying Allotment Life, we are your 1K. I thought I'd missed something that Allotment Life had put, but obviously not. So Nick's Allotment Diary is saying they have a small garden, so they took on an allotment. Yeah, so is it quite a challenge then, looking after an allotment, or is it relatively easy? Because, I'm quite lucky. I just walk out my door and I'm basically in my garden greenhouse. So, I can just go there, water everything and come back in if I'm not, feeling like doing any gardening that day. Obviously, I'm assuming with an allotment, it's a lot harder because you've got to go there. And I suppose when you're there, do you have to stay? Well, I suppose you'd stay longer then because you've made the journey there. Or is your allotment relatively close to you? So Rachel's saying she has a small garden and a small allotment. That's a good combo. Jay McHugh just has pots. Small Garden Escape has a small garden, needs to learn what they're doing before taking on an allotment. So Small Garden Escape, how long have you been doing gardening then? I've been gardening for about a year. Oh, I see. Allotment Life. Has Allotment Life hit 1K? Well, I know he's not here, but congratulations, Allotment Life. So this is your second year. I think you could probably manage an allotment. Even if you just grow simple things like radishes and lettuce, because I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm growing all sorts. So how much does an allotment cost then per year? Is it relatively cheap or is it quite expensive? And I've run out of Bovril before I even started the stream because I got ready to start the stream and then Disney World Adventures started a stream, so I didn't want to interrupt theirs. So I watched theirs, and by that time I finished my Bovril. Carl would be proud if he was here. But yeah, so I've not had anything, not had any hot drinks the whole thing. So is there anything else? Or I can't tell whether my feed is. So Small Garden Escape saying they really need to try Bovril. I I recommend Bovril. I know everybody else says they hate it, but it is really nice. If you've ever had a stock cube, if you like put a stock cube in hot water and drank that, I know it sounds weird, but if you have ever done that, it's like that, but without the salt. Some people say they taste Marmite in it, but I can't taste Marmite in it. But then again, I like it anyway. So Bovril, Carl hashtag T. Yeah, I am. He got me into Bovril. You see, it's like it's Bovril Revolution. Nick's saying it is definitely difficult to have an allotment because you have to go up there and it's not on your doorstep. No, exactly. It costs you £30 a year, which is great. Yeah, that is a really good price. Jay McHugh, I'm assuming you don't like Bovril. Do you like Marmite then? I'm assuming if you don't like Bovril, you don't like Marmite. But I know Marmite have released a new peanut butter Marmite, and it's exclusive to Sainsbury's. So anybody that likes Marmite, I recommend checking it out. And actually, if you like peanut butter and not really Marmite, I recommend it because apparently I've not tried it. I've not been able to get it because it's sold out in in the Sainsbury's that's near us, it's sold out. But from what I've heard, it tastes more peanut butter than it does Marmite. The Marmite is just a very subtle aftertaste. So I do recommend trying that. Marmite is the devil. You know, I disagree with you on that one. I really like Marmite. I have no trouble with Marmite. So Rachel's saying their allotment is £36.90 a year, but they think it's smaller than Nick's. So it's 3-minute walk away. So yeah, it's not that bad if it's a short walk. My friend Jim Bob from Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures, if you don't know his channel, check it out. It's a brilliant channel. Peanut butter with bananas. Oh, I don't know about that. I wouldn't be so keen on that. I can't imagine that would taste very nice at all. So Jay McHugh doesn't like Marmite either. So Nick's allotment likes Marmite, but not keen on Bovril. It doesn't strike them as a nice drink. Well, you like it or you don't. And I'm going to have to turn a light on, I think, because it's getting a bit dark in here. Well, I might try it. You'd never associate the word subtle with Marmite. Well, no. I'll try peanut butter and bananas, as horrible as that sounds. But yeah, so I'm curious to try the peanut butter with Marmite though. Have eaten so they've eaten peanut butter with bananas many times. So there's this bomb Sebastian saying that. Rachel's saying Mar hate. Yeah, I'm outvoted on this one. I'll give it a go. I might try it tomorrow or something. Asaph, I am 14. But yeah, so peanut butter and bananas sounds horrible, but you're all saying it's nice, so I'll give it a go. If it's horrible when I'm sick, then I'm blaming all you. To be fair, the more I think about it, the nicer it does actually sound. So yeah, I will try it. No, peanut butter. It's a new thing that they've done. I recommend trying peanut butter with Marmite. It's a similar taste. The peanut butter Marmite tastes different, but it is a relatively similar taste. So, before you buy a whole thing of peanut butter Marmite, try just a slice of peanut butter, slice of Marmite, and then put them together, on toast and try that. And then you'll know whether you like it or not. So Jay McHugh saying you put crackers and then you get peanut butter and bananas on them. No, no. I would not like the idea of that. That does not sound nice. I mean, crackers, I would never put fruit with crackers, like cheese and butter with crackers, sure, but no, I'm probably the weird one here, but still, that does not sound nice. Good News TV, hello, thanks for joining us. How are you? So Small Garden Escape saying never had peanut butter and hate. How can you never have peanut butter? I'm sorry, but like, how? It's nice. Peanut butter. I'll be a devil, Jay McHugh. I will try it. I'll be a daredevil and try it. And to be fair, I like really weird things. Like I have peanut butter, so I'll get a slice of bread, butter on it. I think it's chicken then. Yeah, chicken. Salad cream, some salad on top, and then like salad leaves on top, and peanut butter. That's nice. It sounds horrible, but that's really nice. So to be fair, I probably would end up liking it, and I'll try it on the crackers as well. So Jay McHugh saying it doesn't taste of either. So what does it taste like then? How much Marmite do I usually use per serving? I don't know really. I just sort of cover the bread. You don't want to use. I'm assuming you're doing the Marmite peanut butter test. Just sort of cover the toast with Marmite, and then put peanut butter with that. Well, yeah, mayo. Jay McHugh, mayo works as well. Mayo or salad cream, really, it doesn't matter. Still tastes nice. Nick's Allotment Diary saying they love peanut butter on toast. I like peanut butter on toast. I normally have it before I go live. Well, the first time I went live, I had it before, and I had it today before I went live. Although I didn't have it when Jim Bob was here. Oh no, that's a lie. Actually, I did have it when Jim Bob was here before the live. So it's a nice snack. Bombs to Bushell's Homestead saying peanut butter and banana sandwich is typically how they've done it. I'll try it. Okay, I'll try it. After this live, actually, I might try it. Or at least tomorrow. And then I'll let everybody know whether it's horrible or nice. Thin layer of Marmite on toast is good. Yeah. A thin layer, you can put too much Marmite on and then it is horrible. But a nice just a covering of it, but not, keeping it on, because there's not loads of Marmite anyway, so in the jar. So Rachel's saying they want to bake banana and peanut butter kiss cookies. That sounds nice. That does sound nice. And now I'm hungry. We've been talking about food for so long now. Small Garden Escapes is saying they're getting hungry as well. Nick's saying they prefer salad cream to mayo. I like them both, to be fair. I'll have whatever. They've definitely got two completely different tastes, and it depends what I'm having as well. Some things salad cream really doesn't go with, because it's salad cream, obviously. But mayo goes with everything, I think. So fish and chips for Small Garden Escape tonight. Lucky. I wish I had fish and chips. Nick's Allotment Diary is just eaten. Oh, you're lucky, Nick. So Jay McHugh saying they want the recipe. So is this a new banana and peanut butter revolution then? Homemade spag bowl tonight. I don't know what I'm having. Yeah, if we're gonna have fish and chips, it's normally a Thursday for some reason. And then Saturday we have Chinese. That is set in stone. Pretty much the majority of Saturdays we have Chinese for tea. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, remember to hit the thumbs up, please. So I think I'll begin to, put the live to an end now, because I did say I'd go on for another 10 minutes and I've gone on for another 24. So, you know, you've had 24 or 25 extra minutes of talking about peanut butter and bananas. Rachel, if you make a video about that recipe, I would try that, because that does sound really nice. Okay, I'll try peanut butter and banana on crackers. I'll try that after the live. And then if it's horrible, I'm blaming you. But yeah, so thank you everybody for coming along. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, well, thank you for coming along, Nick. I'm going to try and do more lives, obviously, because all the watch hours and all that. But to be fair, it's more I enjoy doing the lives. I just haven't had enough time lately to do them, and you can do too many lives and then I run out of things to talk about. So, you know, I'll aim for doing them once a week, might be once every few weeks, but I will try and do lives as regular as I can. You know, if there's something to talk about, then I'll do a live. Bombs to Bush was saying, if it's horrible, so if I don't like it, then you'll do a video trying Marmite again. What if I just say it was horrible when I liked it? Oh, thank you, Jay McHugh. I think Erica's doing a live. I'm not sure, but I assume she is. I've missed the last few lives, actually, so I'll try and catch tonight's. Oh, there we go. I'm proven wrong. Nick's saying that Erica wasn't able to do a live tonight. So no live from Erica tonight, but I'm sure there's plenty of other places and people who do live streams. A live stream or a channel that does lives pretty much every night that I recommend, Nomadic Bike, really good lives there. I think the lives are normally called something along the lines of Total Chaos People's Chat, something like that. I do recommend those lives. They're quite good. I think some of the gardening community is in there. I know that My Family Garden does pop in there occasionally. So Small Gardener Skate saying, oh well, just watch Gardener's World tonight instead. Yeah. Monty will probably end up doing a live. Yeah, I'll head along to Monty's, because that's My Family Garden, for anybody that doesn't know. Monty is another one, does brilliant lives. Well, to be fair, you know, all of the lives in this community and other communities, they tend to be really good. So I'm just getting into it. So unfortunately, mine aren't going to be quite at the level of Erica's or Monty's or anybody like that. But yeah. So keep an eye out for Monty's. And again, Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures, check him out. Brilliant channel, great videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all another time. Bye.